wind up your shoulders, and kick the tail as hard as possible. Ultimately, it's not wrong, but that alone can't explain this trick. I tried to make the explanation as simple and easy to understand as possible, but this trick is so complex that it didn't allow me to do so. It's gonna be a long video, so let me give you some key points first. Kick the tail forward toward the front of your body, because that's how the human body generates the most power. When it's facing sideways, it can't produce enough force. You can easily over-rotate upon kicking the tail, but you can force the direction you kick by looking at the object you want to kick. By having your weight near the rear track, the tail comes in front of you as you pop, allowing you to kick it forward. But if you have it farther forward, you can't keep the tail in your sight, and the kicking power weakens. Let's see them in detail. You're watching Why the Trick. Please subscribe. First, let's get to the most important point. Why does the board spin so fast? The simplest answer, obviously, is that it receives enough energy. But even if you kick the board as hard as possible, it often doesn't spin. And it's not because my kicking power is stronger than yours. The secret behind this problem lies in the structure of the human body. Naturally, kicking power is maximized when an object you want to kick is in front of you. In football, for example, when you want to kick a ball strongly, you'd place it in front of you. Take a look at my movement. When I pop the tail, although my body and board have already started rotating, the tail stays in front of my body. As a result, the board hits the ground strongly and pops up into the air, while receiving enough rotational force. It is quite obvious that the kicking power is stronger when the object is in front of you, but in frontside tricks, everyone suddenly forgets this fact. As you have to complete the rotation, you tend to focus too much on rotating your upper body before spinning the board. Then, your back foot ends up kicking the tail outside of your view. This is the same as trying to kick a soccer ball while facing backwards. Exactly how much power can you possibly generate like that? Based on the structure of the human body, it is obviously ineffective. Meaning, it is important to keep the tail within the sweet angle in front of your body, where you can maximize the strength of your kick. Now, here comes the paradox. While popping in the sweet angle maximizes the kicking power, you also need to turn your shoulders to complete the rotation of your body. So, in a way, you can't over-rotate your shoulders, but you do have to rotate them. The key to solving this contradiction is in the stance while crouching. Your upper body should face completely sideways, or even farther back. As you extend your body, turn your shoulders about 45 degrees while kicking your back foot forward. Between the moment you start pushing down the tail and it reaches the ground, the board rotates on the ground with your shoulder, allowing you to kick it right in front of your body. As the board and body start spinning before the tail hits the ground, you can solve the paradox by being able to open your shoulders to rotate your body, and keep the tail in the sweet angle to maximize the kicking power. Still, it's really hard not to over-rotate your body, knowing you have to do a 180. The line of sight helps you force the direction you kick. Until the moment you pop, keep your gaze on your back foot. By keeping an object you want to kick in your sight, you can literally focus your energy on it. However, you won't be able to see the direction you're heading by looking at your back foot, unlike in an ollie, where you see your front foot while still catching sight of what lies ahead. Getting used to this feeling requires some practice. Remember, if you send your line of sight too far forward, your kicking power weakens. There is one more extremely important concept, the center of gravity. In an ollie, you keep your center of gravity near the center of the board. However, in a frontside bigspin, you shift it closer to the rear track. By doing so, the reaction force from the ground passes directly through the rear track into your center of gravity, allowing you to gain more airtime. It's not just about the airtime. The position of the center of gravity also greatly affects how fast the board spins. Combined with the rotation of the body, kicking the back foot forward pushes your body weight backward. Then, the tail naturally swings out in front of you. Notice how the tail is behind you at first, but it moves forward relative to the center of gravity by the time it hits the ground. If the body weight is placed farther forward, the tail stays behind you. Your body has already turned and facing diagonally forward, so the direction you kick will be outside of the sweet angle. Let's compare with the correct case. If you do it right, your back foot comes in front of you as you pop. Once again, this allows you to kick the tail strongly. If you have your weight farther forward, you won't be able to switch the places of the center of mass and the tail, which is essential to kick the tail forward. Instead, the tail moves forward without coming in front of your body. The position of the weight might be a lot farther behind than you might think. I personally tilt my front knee inward. Compared to simply narrowing the stance, this pushes my weight over the rear track. Try different adjustments to find what works best for your body. Finally, let's think about stance and foot placement. They often say you should place your front foot in a heel flip position, with the toe hanging out, and put your back foot on the toe side similar to a frontside pop shove it. As the back foot applies pressure on the heel side, placing the front foot on the toe side is scientifically reasonable as it works as a counterweight to keep the board level. The angle of the front foot is not so important, however. Personally, I put my front foot slightly open. This is because my ankles are stiff, and if I place it at a right angle to my board, I can't crouch comfortably. By opening the angle slightly, more of my front foot remains in contact with the board while crouching, making it more stable. For the back foot, you may place it just as you would for a frontside pop shove it. Since the role of the back foot is to kick the board, and you're not twisting it inward, there is no need to angle it excessively. Let me give you a recap. The most important thing is that the kicking power maximizes when you kick forward. And by forward, I mean toward the front of your body, not necessarily in the direction of travel. This is just an inevitable fact because that's how the human body works. Keep looking at your back foot and have your weight near the rear track. Doing so not only allows you to gain height, but also increases the kicking power as the tail slides in front of you. Find a way that is suitable for your body. And that's all for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.